Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Russ and I drive a 2024 Super Forester Sport. I own this car for a little over 2 years now, and today I want to talk to you about the CVT. Because if you're thinking about buying a Super Forester, there's a very good chance that the CVT is the main reason for your concerns and hesitations. There's so many things to like about a Super Forester, but then you hear one word, CVT, and suddenly you are on Reddit reading horror stories on the Subaru owner forums. So the question is simple. Should you actually be scared of Subaru CVT? And more importantly, is it an ultimate deal breaker? Now, I want to make something very clear from the beginning. This is not going to be one of those videos where I tell you that my Forester CVT is perfect, because it isn't. If you follow my channel, you heard me complain about it plenty of times. And after 2 years, I still wish my Forester had a regular automatic transmission. In my previous video, I told you that I almost bought a Toyota RAV4 instead of the Forester mainly because the RAV4 had a traditional 8-speed automatic, which at the time gave me a lot more confidence because it felt simpler and ultimately more trustworthy. But when I actually sat inside both cars, the Forester immediately won me over on space, comfort, visibility, and of course its superior all-wheel drive system. The Forester was just a much better fit for me. So I made a compromise. I bought the Forester and I accepted the CVT. 2 years later, do I regret that decision? No, not even close. Would I buy this car again today? Absolutely. But that doesn't mean everybody will feel the same way. So let's talk about it. First of all, what does the CVT actually feel like most of the time when you drive this car? Honestly, it feels completely uneventful and normal. I would say about 90% of the time, you don't even think about it at all, especially on the highway. On the highway, doing highway speeds above, say, 30 miles an hour, my Forester is smooth, it's quiet, it cruises beautifully. There are no weird shifts, no jerks, no lurches, no sounds, nothing. It honestly feels like a really good regular automatic transmission. And after 2 years of highway driving, I can't remember a single moment where the CVT disappointed me during a highway drive. Not once. I just love driving my Forester on the highway. It's like a train, super smooth and planted. You just get up to speed and relax. The transmission completely disappears into the background. So if most of your driving is highway driving, you may have a really positive CVT experience. My problem is that about 80% of my driving is city driving here in Brooklyn. Endless stop signs, constant traffic lights. That's where I noticed the CVT the most. And here's one behavior I had most complaints about. You're driving toward a red light, you let your foot off the gas, you just want the car to coast freely. At first, everything feels smooth. Then, around 20 miles an hour, the car starts slowing itself down, almost like engine braking. But I'm not touching the brakes. Then, right around 15 miles an hour, the car is suddenly lurching forward, like somebody lightly bumped your rear bumper. The first time it happened to me, the car was basically 1 week old. And honestly, it scared me a little, because at first I was like, weird, why is the car suddenly slowing down so much just as I reached 20 miles an hour? And then, as I hit 15 miles an hour, you get this lurch forward like you're gaining speed. This was totally not expected and it didn't feel nice. From everything I learned reading the forums and actually talking to other Forester drivers, it seems to be related to the torque converter unlocking. Sometimes it's barely noticeable, sometimes, especially when the car is cold, you really feel it. And yes, it still annoys me and I'm still trying to adapt to it. What seems to work for me is staying on the brakes a little longer as I slow down, which means my foot is now on the brakes as I go from 20 miles an hour to 15 miles an hour. And only as I reach 15 miles an hour is when I let go of the brakes and start to coast. As a result, that makes this lurch forward sensation much less noticeable. But I don't want to pretend that this is some amazing driving experience quirk I actually enjoy, because that's not the case. And remember how I said earlier that the CVT is perfect when you are on the highway, driving real highway speeds? Well, guess what? If you hit heavy traffic and end up crawling below 20 miles an hour, doing constant full stops, the last thing you want is to experience this lurching sensation I described earlier when there's another car right in front of you. So if you're very sensitive about how transmissions should feel, and if you're someone who actually cares about driving and how the car behaves, then you need to take a Forester on a very long test drive. Drive it in traffic, let it warm up, Try it cold if you can. Find a stop sign far ahead, let off the gas, feel what it does around 20 miles an hour, then see what you feel as it reaches 15 miles an hour. Maybe you won't notice anything. Maybe it won't bother you. Or maybe you will immediately say, nope, this is not for me. And that is completely fine because only you know what will work best for you. Now let's talk about something else, longevity. Because this is where people really get nervous. You read about CVT replacements, you see pictures of huge bills, and suddenly you start thinking that the CVT is going to break the moment your warranty ends. But here's how I look at it. If you're leasing your Subaru and you're planning to return the car at the end of your typical 3-year lease, I would not let CVT repair costs stop you from getting the Forester, because your car will be under warranty the entire lease term. You should still care about how transmission feels, of course, because you're going to be the one driving this car every day. But the fear of CVT breaking at 80,000 miles, that is literally not your problem. A new Subaru Forester has basic warranty coverage for the first 3 years or 36,000 miles. The powertrain warranty, which includes the CVT, lasts 5 years or 60,000 miles, whichever comes first. So if you're leasing or buying the car and selling it while it's still under warranty, the CVT should be much less scary from the financial point of view. Now, if you're like me and you want to keep your Forester for a very long time, obviously the question of reliability and the potential of being hit with a huge CVT replacement bill is always on your mind. I'm not going to pretend that I don't worry about this. I want this car to last. That is why I'm personally planning to look into an extended warranty before my factory coverage runs out. Not because I'm expecting my CVT to fail, but because I think it could be worth it just for the peace of mind. The other thing I plan to do is to be very proactive when it comes to maintaining the car. I service my Forester exclusively at the official Subaru dealer and will continue to do so even past the warranty. Am I going to be overpaying by doing so? Yeah, probably, but it's the price I'm willing to pay for the extra assurance that, at least in theory, the techs working on my Forester know my car better than anyone else. When it comes to the CVT maintenance, the question of CVT fluid comes up immediately. And this is where the internet gets a little crazy. Some say CVT fluid is a lifetime fluid. Other people say you need to change it every 30,000 miles because that's what they do, and they credit their high mileage, trouble-free Foresters as proof that this method works best. Then somebody else will comment and say that they wanted to do a CVT fluid change, but their local dealership told them that it's a lifetime fluid and refused to do the work. All of this is obviously super confusing. Let me share my approach. Basically, I'm going to look at Subaru's official maintenance guidance. At least here, Subaru doesn't actually call the CVT fluid a lifetime fluid. Subaru's official warranty and maintenance booklet that I have for my car calls for the first CVT fluid inspection at 36,000 miles or 36 months, whatever comes first. And then the follow-up inspections should be done every 30,000 miles or 30 months. The table marks CVT fluid with letter I, meaning inspect, correct, or replace if necessary. When the time comes, I'm 99% sure I will insist on doing the CVT fluid change. Because whatever the cost, it will still be less than the CVT replacement. So once again, I plan to do this just for the peace of mind. So, back to the big question. Is the Subaru Forester CVT a deal breaker? For me, obviously it's not. It's a compromise. I completely understand why people choose to go with the RAV4 because it has an automatic transmission. I understand why some people simply don't like the CVTs. And I completely understand why that low-speed lurching behavior I described on my car could ruin the driving experience for somebody who spends all day sitting in stop-and-go traffic. But for me, the Forester had too many other things going for it. The space, the comfort, the visibility, safety, the confidence that comes from Subaru's all-wheel drive, all of that mattered more to me than having the perfect transmission. And after more than 2 years, I still think I made the right decision. My CVT is not perfect. I still notice it. I still wish it was smoother in the city. But it has not ruined my ownership experience. Not even close. If you mostly drive on the highway, like I said, you might barely think about the CVT. If you mostly drive this car in the city, like I do, I would recommend definitely taking this car on a long test drive to make sure you can live with this transmission. But don't automatically eliminate the Forester just because somebody online told you that every CVT is going to destroy your life. Drive it, understand it, think about how long you plan to keep the car, and make the decision for yourself. That's exactly what I did, and so far, no regrets. Now, I want to hear from you guys. If you own a Subaru with CVT, do you love it? Do you hate it? Or are you somewhere in the middle like me? And if you're shopping for a Forester right now, is the CVT the only thing stopping you? Let me know down in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.